done. One shot, one kill. Cheers, love! The cavalry's here! Nerf this! Play of the game. Heroes never die. One shot, one kill. Cheers, love! The cavalry's here! Nerf this! Play of the game. Heroes never die. fool. Start your engine.
Hello everyone, Kojakx here casting with 2WG, A-Love 2. Today's going to be a great game. We have Chinese Takeout Academy, our brand new team, starting at 0-5. Hopefully they come out strong. And then right now we have Team Verdant in third place, 5-1. Noah, how do you think this game's going to turn out?
Okay, first of all, you cannot call me by Noah. We are on stream. I am now officially to you, Aleph. But anyway, I believe that Chinese Takeout team could possibly come out this game with a win, considering that we've never seen them play before and they're 0-5. That's pretty much the only basis we have. So anyway, if the match goes how people want it to go, and hopefully the Chinese Takeout team can win this, because, you know, everyone likes some Chinese takeout every now and then. I'm personally a big fan of stir fry. How about you?
It's okay. So far, I'm looking at their profiles. They have 3 Genji 1-tricks.
Feels weird, man.
Feels okay. A Moira main, 3 Genji mains, a Moira main, a Reinhardt main, and someone else who I'm clarified. The skin's gonna be good. Skin should be good though.
Pretty small issue. Small Squid has a private profile.
I know.
That's against Owlet rules.
Oh. Are you gonna bring it up? Or...
Okay, I've brought it up to him. Hopefully they fix it.
Pretty sure lots of people want to see Chinese Takeout get their first win.
But at the same time, there are Team Verdant fans out in the crowd too.
This will be pretty nice though if they actually do come out with their first win of the season on the third place team. It would still only put them at 1-5, but I mean,
1-5 is still better than 0-6.
And it would start them off great into the season, even if they don't win this. But if they just hold it out, fine.
Bring it to a draw, maybe.
Possibly. Okay, he made his profile on private. He's like a tank healer main. It looks like.
He's gonna be the main support for their team.
This game should be really good though. I've seen Team Verdant play, haven't seen them play. What comps are you expecting to come out of this?
Not goats. I can say that.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, goats is still a thing in the current meta. It's just, at the moment, it's only a thing because of how many teams have it practiced, and like no one's fully explored the new meta yet.
Goats is still a very viable comp though, even though they nerfed Rig and Diva.
Yeah.
Like, for my team, we started to run lots of Zen Goats, and that's working out pretty good for us actually. And here we're about to start the game, first round on Nepal.
Hopefully we can see some fun comps, and because it's starting on the tower one first, I don't remember what the official name's called, but we should be able to see a fun comp. it's either going to be Goat's Mirror, or it's going to involve some sort of Reaper, maybe.
In this whole new Overwatch, I'm starting to see really hoping to see lots of Ashe come into play more. Because she's like a very viable character. She's better than Widowmaker because she's more mobile, and then she's better than McCree because more mobility and more damage.
So we're going to be seeing Goats come out of CTA.
Then we're going to see a Reaper McCree comp coming out of Team Verdant.
Verdant should have this first point just because of the Reaper carry from even having no ult. But at the same time, Goats is pretty unpredictable with their AoE ass healing.
Exactly. I think Chinese Takeout actually has a pretty good possibility of winning this as long as they can get that Reaper down. Because especially with the Goats running that triple tank and Brig, Reaper can be really dangerous for them.
And I think they know that it's Goats now, considering that they've already positioned for the Goats lineup.
And Gamsha with the pick on Delirium. Are they going to push in on this, or are they just going to hold it back? Now they're even. Just got Diva demacked. Run picked. So far it looks like a win for Team Verdant. Lucio still trying to hold on to the point. 1v1ing another Lucio right now. Is he going to be able to contest for his team to come up? Diva back with Nekkra now with Brig. Reinhardt 1v1ing Zari off the side. And that looks like a win for the first point for Team Chinese Takeout.
See, they were kind of just staggered along after the first couple picks, and they're already starting to burn ults again.
Came out the grab, didn't get anything off of it though. McCree high nooning. They're all hiding, no value off of it. Brig asleep on point. So gets bubbled, Ryan's coming in to save her. Diva bomb coming in, picks out that Ryan. Now they're pushing up on this, trying to stagger out anyone who they can. Looks like another win for that fight. I'm trying to take out Academy.
See, they were able to take that fight, even though they used a couple more ults than they probably should have. But now that they've used that rally, because of the new patch, it'll only last about another 20-ish seconds, and it'll give the team enough time to realize of what they need to do, and they're gonna go up top right and try and converge onto point with a semi dive with that Reinhardt, and the fight begins to ensue with the Diva.
They engage on the point, wasting both their bubbles and using grab and Earth Shatter, but Earth Shatter gets blocked by Kiwi. Oh, numbers in favor of Team Verdant now. They get that round, which is a very important part of Goats if you're going to win the fight.
Verdant was able to win that fight by being able to pick the Reinhardt first. Without the Reinhardt in every Goats-ish comp, or non-Goats comp, is one of the most vital pieces of every Rein-based comp themselves. Because of how Reinhardt works and of how big and beefy that shield is, once you're without it, then you're pretty much released open to every single ult in the game. And considering that they have Beyblade online and they're going to have 4 ults going in, almost 6 ults going into the next fight.
Reinhardt is such a good winning condition, because if that Reinhardt dies, then McCree could easily pick out all 3 of their supports and even get off damage on the tanks because of that new fan, the hammer buff. Looks like they're just gonna push back Diva out of mech, trying to get some ult charge on that Ryan. Again, with Ryan being Ryan's the win. I think Ryan's the win condition of Goats, honestly, because as soon as he goes down, then basically your whole team's scattered out and unorganized.
Ryan is the glue that comes with the rubber band as they're trying to go behind with the Reinhardt trying to get the back shatter. And the fight begins to ensue again.
Both shatters going off. Both Reinhardt stunned and the high noon goes off. Diva's down by Crimson. Reinhardt's down by Dire under. Looks like Chinese Takeout's gonna fall back. Trying not to get picked off.
Yep, and they keep on sending them back to the spawn room with their ults just having more effect than those of CTA's. Because CTA's ults have been having least and least effective.
Grab coming out for CTA, but then Soundbird and a bomb. Is it gonna be? Bomb gets that Ryan because he pinned him. They pop trans right now, which probably wasn't worth it. They use more ults than needed that fight, I think, because they use grab, bomb, rally, and the transcendence. But it might be worth it actually, depending if they do end up taking this point now with that Reinhardt staggered.
They'll be able to touch the point as it sees with the Lucio touching point. They just fall back and just destroy the Lucio, and now they've swapped over to a stallish comp to be able to try and just stall onto the point, and it just seems to be futile.
That looks it. 100 to 94, really close round. Chinese Takeout gets their first point victory on this, on Nepal. I always forget which one it is.
Everyone does, it's Nepal, dude.
It's Nepal random.
Well, now they're going on to Sanctum.
Yeah, that was a village, so.
Now that they're going on to Sanctum, we're either going to be seeing goats or we're going to be seeing maybe an Orisa comp with that big pulse.
I would really like to see an Orisa hog coming from either side on this comp.
And it looks like we'll be seeing an Orisa from
Both
CTA.
sides. But then they're going with the road. They're going with a Bastion, I guess. CTA side.
Triple CTA, but with the Bastion too.
Brings
We're just getting a normal Orisa hog double sniper comp from the side of Team Verdant, and the site will begin to ensue with Orisa taking on the point. And the shield battle's futile when they have a Bastion.
CTA is clearly gonna win that shield fight just because that Orisa and Bastion. Then on top of the Diva, they're trying to get Roadhog from the left side, but not working. Brig on point, just trying to cap it real fast while Bastion, Diva, and Orisa keep them all tested at that corner. First point goes to them first, right off the bat. Keep.
Yep, they're going to continue to just poke and prod at this with that Bastion just constantly just deciding to just be a big nuisance with that Brig pack just always keeping that Bastion up no matter what. It just seems that they're just gonna run this Bastion.
I think that was the point of them. I think that was the point of them running triple healers with them with the DM from the Diva right now. That's gonna help a lot, because even if the shield goes down, they could DM them, wait for it to play back up. Dragon's coming out on point. We're all fighting on right side right now. Engage gets picked out. Genji, Widow is asleep. Orisa pull, didn't get anyone off the map. Nano boosted Brigitte on point. Brig gets one pick. The Diva bomb gets two. Both the tanks actually. They're just trying not to get staggered right now. It seems like they're going to.
So all that they're going to be able to do is just try and not get staggered with the Bastion coming back. Oh, that's a fat finger and a half. Feels bad. I feel bad for Lucio considering that just happened.
Especially in their first game of the season, that's what real feels bad. Now they're running a Junkrat on Team Verdant side.
Bastion
getting out of mech and two of their supports right now. Placing down the supercharger. Is that going to be enough though? Bastion ults, but then they sound barrier to counter that. Bastion gets two. Ryan is behind those tanks right now, but Brig stuns and picks him out. Moore tries to hold with Coalescence, but the Bastion's too strong.
Bastion just carried that game for him. And CTA takes their first map.
It's like that. I like to see the fun comps like that. That actually do end up working out in the end like that.
And Engage just kind of just carried that game as Bastion. And it's no surprise considering with how good Bastion is in the current meta right now.
That was such a good ult, honestly, on his part.
And he barely survived that with 3 HP too.
Very good game.
Very indeed. Now we'll be moving on to the next map, which should be
Route 66.
Route 66, so we might see the Bastion again.
On defense, I think CTA might run the Bastion again. But then also I have a feeling that they might run out Orisa Hog on defense, but like maybe Orisa Hog double sniper.
Orisa Hog double sniper is what Penton Viserion ran on defense against Odyssey, and it's how we took the map is by playing a spam comp. So that's how I see CTA or Verdant winning this, is with a spam comp or quad DPS, as we've seen in contenders.
Quad DPS can work. I think the winning condition of it is as long as your healers can like heal them strong enough. Because if your DPS are just getting picked out, then they can't do anything really. What DPS do you like to see when it's quad DPS?
With quad DPS, it's pretty much you have to run Widow Hanzo, because double sniper is always good. Triple sniper with an Ashe maybe, but Ashe, it can be replaced with either a soldier for other reasons, for like extra heal. And so you'll either have an Ashe soldier, Widow Hanzo Ashe / soldier, or you can just run Widow Hanzo Ashe soldier. And if you're going to run an Ashe / soldier, then you would want a Junkrat as well.
One thing that I've seen coming out of quad DPS sometimes in some of my games is they normally do like double. They do Hanzo, then a hit skin such as Ashe, Soldier, McCree, or Widowmaker, and then they end up running a Sombra, a Pharah. Then the double heals really.
But it seems that we're not going to be seeing any quad DPS. We're just going to be running.
Or any goats, just McCree comp and Widow comp. But triple DPS. They're looking for a small dive, I see.
Maybe swap to full dive as well. But it seems like that they're going to run with this.
So Ryan Zarya versus dive Widow comp. See how this game plays out.
Dive with. Instead, they're gonna actually do the swaps like we thought, and they're just gonna be running basic, almost traditional vanilla dive.
Yep.
They're gonna just try and keep on high ground with that
Monkey
Ana in the back.
jump up top. And that's a pick. See, that's what's really good about both those DPS. They can just shred him, especially with the McCree family. Ana's just staying on point, letting everyone else fight, just healing from the back.
They're gonna keep on picking and prodding.
Team Verdant with the pick on the other Genji, and a Lucio pick. They get the Genji back in return. Team Verdant has the numbers now. Are they gonna push in on this, or just hold back?
They're just gonna hold by the car, because if they proceed to overextend, and then that Lucio just comes out of nowhere and just backcaps it. And it seems like that they're gonna try and reset up onto high ground and try and get that high ground poking and prodding, and try and set up for that dive back onto their Ana. And they're gonna try and put car pressure, but they're gonna drop down.
Winston hopping on the big girls. They're trying to pick out those healers that not going that great because of that. This is Lucio. Full spam on the Ana. Are they pushing with that? Feels like there wasn't enough follow up for that Winston there because Dio didn't follow. Dragon Blade coming out. They nano boosted Monkey right now, but he's on both teams use unnecessary amount of ults, I think. But they might actually be getting point right now because both their tanks are down.
And they'll be able to cap this because they're up in numbers now, and that they have the advantage.
Maybe not if this Genji can stall. Never
Nope,
mind.
that should be an easy cap for CTA. Verdant probably should swap something up, as what it seems that CTA is going to be doing as well, with Tracer swapping in spawn to go to that Doomfist. And it seems like we're going to continue on with this semi-dive type of thing, and same with Verdant, considering that they still have 2 ults to be able to be used, and soon to be 3. And it seems like they're going to be comboing together either Nano Blade into Grav, or they're going to be using Grav in High Noon. But
I really want
we'll
to
have
see
wait and see.
CTA. I really want to see CTA pull off this Doomfist pick. He's really off meta right now, but if you can play him correctly, pick out those tanks / healers first, then he gets picked off by the McCree again. Monkey and Genji trying to push them all back so they can get payload. But Genji's trying to hold it for as long as he can, trying to get time on the clock. Monkey being picked out. Are they gonna fall back, or are they actually still gonna try? With McCree, with Gemsha being 1, seems like a hard reset for Chinese Takeout Academy.
Yep, the main reason why Team Verdant won that is because they were able to just keep on putting pressure onto their supports and just constantly putting enough pressure for them to just be an issue. And just constantly keeping D.Va out of mech so that she has no value with her bomb.
Team Verdant is just trying to keep them staggered, picking off that McCree or healer every time to try and push up past his choke.
And they're just gonna keep on holding high ground and corner pressure. Some of the best things in the game while they're just waiting for D.Va to just get back into the mech before they fully commit, as they do now.
And they're coming out with the Dragon Blade, but then both Dragon Blades and both Embers, and they come out with the High Noon. They get no value off of it because the defense matrix came up. Genji trying to get that Winston. Pick on the Winston because of that McCree. D.Va pressuring the Rhine right now, even though they are down numbers. Looks like they're retreating right now.
Yep, and it seems that they're gonna try and back off against this fight while just trying to get more continuous poke damage and just feeding more ult to their Lucio, and it seems that they're gonna doing a bomb for no reason, but it still
Takes
gets
out the
big.
Alda. Are they gonna push it with that pick?
Yep, D.Va's just gonna go ahead and kill herself and not give him any more ult. They're gonna make some swaps over to the Reinhardt and maybe have Small Squid swap over to Zarya too. Yep, we're gonna be seeing their own Rein Zarya comp with
mirror comps.
Yep. And they're just gonna try and go into this fight with their 2 ults, soon to be 4.
McCree coming out with the High Noon. Put asleep by Pats though. Coming out with the other, picking out that Nano Blade.
Yep, and
Grab and Shatter coming out from Team Verdant. Not working.
It seems that there's only the 2 supports left to try and stall the cart, and they're just gonna drop like a dead fly. And it seems that they're going to have another retake with Crimson swapping over to that Tracer to try and just push it into overtime.
They wasted Soundbarrier. He picked him out of midair. Nice job on his part.
There was really no need for them to even try and go in with that, and there was another fat finger. Or they're going into this with another fight.
Okay, I guess they're going in to this. Ryan missed his dash and hit the pipe. Missile, whatever. Using an ally to hopefully get this Ryan out safe.
Yep. They're just going to continue poking until they realize that they're down a couple members.
come out with the blade. Gets picked off. Both Genjis are down at high noon. 2-man high
Huge
noon.
high
on
noon coming out from
CCAs.
Engage. And they're just keep on plowing through this and just trying to just get them resets. And that's an ended fight. And all they have to do left is kill Zarya. And they just can continue to keep 3 on the cart. And they just should win.
Both these areas are very high charges because of that Genji and McCree. Driving them at spawn.
That's what you call a win for Team CTA. And there goes round 1 going into defense from CTA.
I will be right back in a minute. 1 second.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
What do you think Verdant's gonna run on defense? What the f... Okay. That's weird. I guess I'll be solo casting for a couple seconds while they decide to assemble their heroes, and I guess we're going to be seeing their comps in about 5 seconds, and I'm hoping that we can see another Orisa comp coming out from either or team. But it looks like that CTH is going to be running another Goats comp onto this point, while it seems that Verdant is just going to continue to think about what they're running, because as I see, Doo Souls just hasn't picked a hero yet with their empty health bar, but it seems like they're going to be running either Goats or they're going to be running another normal comp. And it seems that Crimson, as I still can't tell who they've picked yet, because it still has a giant question mark over their head. It seems that Crimson's going to pick a Hanzo, and they're going to run Hanzo Pharah, or double sniper onto attack. And go ahead and attack, and guess I'm going to have to do color and play-by-play. Hope you all are ready for that. And it seems that they're just going to play Goats into that corner of of Route 66, and it seems that they've seen it, and they're just going to call it out and read that, and they're just going to continue to poke and prod at them, and they're just going to keep on fighting and fighting and fighting. They're going to continue to, and Verdant's going to back up while they wait for their healers to just come around, but it seems they've swapped over to quad DPS. Dalim getting sleeped and antied. Verdant going to push and poke forward while Crimson gets a pick onto Ceres, or Ceres, however it's pronounced, I haven't been told yet. And Dalim getting a huge pick onto Crimson in defense.
I imagine that Pharah's going to be real strong because they have no direct counter for it. The most you're probably going to see is that Ana, possibly the D.Va picking at her. She's probably going to be a really strong pick in this game right now unless they swap.
It seems that Engage is going to swap over to the Widowmaker to try and counter that Pharah coming out from Crimson, but they're going to have 5 ult. No, they're going to have around 6 ults going into the next fight, while the Dire Under just gets a huge slam to just finish up the fight, and that's going to be team wipes sent right back into the spawn room. Welcome back, Kojakx. How did your little 30-second break go?
It went good. I had to grab my water because I lost it.
How do you lose water?
I'm on a patio and it rolled off the edge.
Why are you on a patio? Doesn't matter, we're gonna go into the next fight.
Just going into the fight, they get shattered. What is even going on? Crimson he picks.
And it seems that's going to be another team wipe sent straight back into the spawn room, while they get huge bad spawns for Small Squid and Engage going to final point, while it seems that Team Verdant's just going to get free ult charge and free time and space onto this payload, while they have to slowly group up, and they're just going to continue on to this triple tank comp. And it doesn't know if Crimson or any of them are going to swap over to a Reaper to try and counter this triple tank comp. Insights coming out from Engage, trying to label information of where Crimson is. And it seems it's going to not fight on payload yet. They're just going to continue to poke and prod. And as they continue to poke and prod, it's more time and more space just given over to Verdant. And they're still not doing anything about D.Va high ground, and they're just playing around cart and not knowing what to
They
do.
did end up
Crimson gets
swapping
the initial
Cart.
pick. It seems that D.Va's going to continue just staying on high ground with no repercussions, and it just...
Reinhardt, they're trying to get that other Reinhardt out. Dire under dashes for no reason. Big shatter. They used unnecessary ults there. They wasted 3 when they only needed the nano and shatter, I think. But still, they ended up getting 4 picks in the end, trying to stagger, and it happens. But they don't get the stagger on pads.
And it seems that they're going to be swapping back over to the Genji, and it seems that the Dorsals is and fun running with this McCree Genji that's been working out for them all this set. And it just seems that they're just going to continue to poke and prod and just give, and CTA is still giving Verdant just free space that they shouldn't be giving. Solo Grav, and it just a solo everything else.
And I guess that Reinhardt in the bomb. Are they gonna hold them with this choke right here, you think? Just be
Well, they're using a lot of ults right at the choke, and the Dorsal's just
Genji
in their
trying to go for
backline.
Lucy. Mercy gets picked. Ryan is trying to fire strike at the spawn just to get that little bit of ult charge off.
Deflect coming out from Genji, and Dalim just deleting the Dorsal, sending them back to the spawn room with that big stagger that shouldn't have happened, in all honesty. And they're just going to continue trying to poke this up and try and from CTA they're just trying to stall out this cart for as long as they possibly can. And Dalim's sleeping in the back.
Shatter coming out of Dire Under gets nobody though.
And it seems that they're just going to continue poking up forward and just not doing much about CTA, but Engage coming in with that nano blade onto Verdant, and that's a big anti, and Gamsha should probably die here.
Seems to be holding Dire Under.
Yep, and Vi, or 7, will be continuing to just hold up here, and Ceres is gonna just stand in a corner, and I guess not. Well, they're going to have a singular defensive ult for the blade that they know that's coming, but it's probably going to be a Grav blade too. And CTA is going this corner, and while Verdant pokes up, and they've successfully been able to bait out the sound barrier coming out from 7 or Vi, and they're just gonna just wipe the fight like it's no other.
McCree trying to go up top, possibly trying to go for a high noon right now. Gets picked off by the pads. It's gonna call for a soft
CTA was able to win this fight by really just utilizing that corner pressure that's so prevalent around this. And this choke's one of the hardest chokes to get past through, and especially in competitive play with all these good teams just holding good corner pressure, and Crimson coming in with the Grav, with the blade.
Bomb gets 3 people, very well placed on their part. Ryan's coming in, getting picked off almost. Ryan ends up getting picked off. That's a harder set, looks like. Very well placed bomb. Just placed right by the Grav.
And Crimson going to swap over, slowly start getting this stall ults so that they can have a higher chance of winning this fight.
They have a very high chance if they go in for the Earthshatter High Noon.
Here comes out the Nano Blade.
Nano Blade and Shatter. Dire Under gets picked off. Genji picks up that Moira too. Very well placed on Chinese Takeout Academies.
Yep, and Crimson just trying to not get staggered, but that's a huge stagger coming out from Ceres, trying to just They're just getting up their last minute ults, and they're going to have Small Squid's bomb in 5s or 7s. Ult still, and Crimson just swapping back over to Tracer. And they have pressure onto that cart, and seems that
we're going out for a high noon, getting no value off of it because that payload seems to block them. Small Squid going in with another bomb, gets a nobody this time. Gamster getting demaxed. We're coming out with Coalescence that gets purple.
and that's a team kill coming out from CTA, and they've taken their second map into this.
Very nice hold from CTA.
Yep, CTA not being the sleeper team that we were speculating from the start.
Play of the game.
Small Squid just showing himself that they're a diva to be reckoned with, and that if you don't respect the diva, you're gonna get wrecked.
That was a very well placed bomb. One thing that lots of divas think is you have to dash in all the time when you're going for bomb, but no, you can just place her into the grab like that. I don't know why the Rhine didn't block that, but was he in the grab?
The Rhine got charged.
But, oh, okay.
The Rhine had gotten charged in that, and so there was nothing much he could have done to block it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be moving on to 2CP, the either the toughest or the toughest, the worst, and the dumbest type of game mode that's possible in this game.
Yep.
Especially with spawns, even after the slight nerfs that they've been getting ever since day one. But 2CP is either going to be big sleeper, or it's going to be a popping off game, or it's just going to be double goats.
It's going to be very one-sided or double goats. One thing that I've been seeing a lot more of is Arisa Hog on defense than like just full dive on defense. I would actually like to see some nice Hammond play, because I play Hammond, slightly turning into a Hammond one trick after the armor changes. And he's honestly very viable if you can play him right and pile drive right and coordinate it with your team well.
Yep.
Especially if you get the Rhine or healers out of position.
With a Hammond, you can always just knock them up and always just cause pains, and you can easily knock them out of position. With Pile Driver, you can pretty much just always put them out of position. You can knock them up, and you can just proceed to kill them. But it sees that we're not going to be knowing the heroes yet for another 30 seconds. And I guess we're just going to be slowly learning about if CTA is going to be the team that we all thought they were going to be, or if they're going to just proceed to 4-0 this top 3 team. And it seems that we're going to be running
Symmetra.
We're going to be running a sim strat onto
I wouldn't even be surprised if they actually run a Reaper strat. We haven't seen any of those lately. The Reaper's really strong after the last, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, and it's going to be just a nice spam comp coming out from and a sim Reaper strat coming out from CTA. And it's always just going to be something beautiful whenever you see a sim strat either A, work, or you laugh yourself off the face of the earth with how badly the sim strat goes. But we'll have to wait and see, considering that we haven't seen any of Dalim sim play yet.
They're trying to teleport straight to the point right now. Big ante for them. Dalim's still pushing up, capping, getting one tick nearly.
And the sim strat is laughably just didn't work.
I think it was because of that Junkrat, personally.
And they're just gonna swap it over to goats. Correction, DPS goats, as my teammate Squirtle likes to call it, dotes. They're just going to be having engage on that Widowmaker, and they're just going to run a goats-ish comp coming into the second point. Well, first point, actually, I thought they would have capped it, but no, that's a huge ante. So that's just going to
being
be
picked out by Arisa.
all off from the beginning.
2 picks off of Arisa. I don't know why they're pushing up on this personally. Just a pin on the Roadhog, but not worth it. I feel like they should have pushed out as soon as they got 2 picks on Pets and Small Squid. Especially after Series died. Should have just walked out. Not fed any ult charge. So now they're coming up on every ult really.
Well, they're gonna have up every ult, and other than Hog ult, which Hog ult, as I like to call it, I like to call myself the best Hog in minors. Self-proclaimed, by the way. They're just gonna run them under and just try and get onto that tick, and they just keep on running it the same way, just try and get onto ticks.
Coming out with the tire, picking off both the healers right there. This Orion cannot stop pressing his shift.
And it seems that CTA just hasn't been practiced in 2CP. But
No, I wouldn't either. Especially with it being 2CP.
no one practices 2CP. Who would want to kind of play 2CP?
What coach would willingly make your...
Yeah, what coach would force their team to play 2CP? Unless you're actually trying to win, and then, yeah, you should probably practice 2CP, but... sees that we're just gonna have to use the strats of just keep on going under.
They're trying to push up top right now, possibly. Never mind, they're very split up. Ryan's going up top while everyone else bottom right. They nano boost the Roadhog. Junkrat.
Engage getting a good pick.
Soundbarrier is coming out
Shatter.
on the blue side. Ryan pinning that Roadhog, getting no value. Another Tiger coming out, picking out the Ryan and the 7 or Vi, I can't tell. And looks like a win for CTA for that point.
And Engage just kind of carried that, and they're gonna have Ceres swap over to the Wrecking Ball. But this seems that they're gonna be swapping over to Arisa D.Va for the moment, just because Arisa has bongos, and that's a fat-fingered bongo. Feels weird, man.
Feels bad.
He's just gonna be swapping over to that Reinhardt, not wanting to use that bongo with Crimson and Doo-Doo Sols or something.
Just
Engage is going to come in with the pick. Crimson got the pick, actually.
Series coming out with the Hamston. Trying to disengage that Ryan from the rest of his... Sleeps in midair. Purple. Looks like Series is about to die. Anna picks him off.
And Engage just demecking D.Va, but no one knew exactly what he was trying to do.
They're running Pharah right now.
Yep. They're trying to counter that Reaper.
As we
They're
saw in
running
Route
Reaper
66,
goats.
As we saw in Route 66, that was a very good Pharah pick. Crimson. Maybe we'll see it again coming from him. Or her, or it.
Engage is trying to find a place of just being able to shadow step behind that Widow, just because it's the only way they'll be able to kill that Widowmaker. Because right now that Widowmaker just has free reign of just being able to pick them out, and they can't do anything about it.
Art ends up getting that Deleem. D-Lam, mother. Blue side just winning over that whole anti, trying to stagger that Lucio.
They're going to need to switch something up as they see Deleem swapping over to that. McCree to just put a little bit of pressure on the Dodo Souls.
I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up swapping on. Because Ryan D.Va works surprisingly good against Pharah.
Yep. And we're just going to need to have that consider it and have that work if we want to be able to see what Crimson's going to do. And Crimson's trying to look for that barrage, and just Crimson's going to continue to poke and look for that barrage. And there's
Stunning. First shot. Bomb coming out, killing Engage. Nano boosted Reinhardt. 1v1. Again, with Team Verdant winning, holding very strong.
And all that's left is the Ana in the back of CTA. Don't understand how the Ana was able to get back there, but it seems that the Ana's going to be able to try and get out, and that's
Stuff
just
like
going to
that.
be a wipe from...
Like that, where you don't question and say, that's why you're in my...
Yep.
Does stuff like that ever end up happening?
In minors, a lot of stuff actually happens, despite it being the minors league. The minors league's actually kind of crazy of how much talent's actually in there.
There's a bunch of talent. Minors League doesn't mean by any means really, just mean
Minors league doesn't get enough recognition from the majors because of how much actual majors talent's in minors.
we see Small Squid trying to go behind them, trying to pick off that Ana. Big shatter. Farah pulling out an ult, killing McCree. Lucio killing a Holobox. They're trying to win this fight without their hit skin. Again with that hold from the Farah, which is an amazing pick for Farah on this map, especially second point. I don't see lots of it, but when you do end up doing it and you do pull it off right, then it's really good.
Well, they're gonna have to use the high noon this fight if they want to have any slight chance of being able to win it, but considering Dodo Souls is just, or the Dole Souls has just been popping off.
It's gonna be sort of hard though, because they have that defenseman in the Reinhardt.
And Dalim just not playing with the team to even have the chance of getting that high ground high noon.
Not even close to the team. Wait, oh, he's trying to bait them all. Pick on Engage. Okay. This could be a fat high noon. Gets the Farah mercy. Grab getting the tanks in.
And there's the bomb to say, this is my point and you can't touch it. And there's the hold for... And that will successfully close the 2 CP loop process.
Score 0-1.
So now it's going to be either a 2-1 or it's just going to be an 0-1.
Initiating match.
So hopefully we can figure out what's going right and wrong with the team. And we should be able to figure out what's going right and what's going wrong.
What are you expecting out of these sides out of both sides on this map? Are you expecting a goats v goats or something else?
It's probably going to be goats v goats considering of how good the comps are. But it sees that they're just going to be running 2-2-2 on both sides. Considering that I don't see 4 armor boxes on either side, but it's just going to be Slambulance against
Widow.
Diva.
Widow.
Yeah.
Widow Diva.
Yep. And it's gonna be either a wipe or they're going to adapt to a Reaper and just try and counter the comp. So hopefully we can see a fun match of Slambulance versus a Orisa Diva setup, which Orisa Diva hasn't always been the most consistent thing, but I guess we're gonna have to see what they do when they decide to first push out onto this point.
Junkrat tried to get some free ult charge off of that placing his trap and mine there. He's with the first pick on Yamcha by Dalim.
And they now know what comp that the enemy that they're running, and so they're gonna be playing even more careful now. Just not let anything brawly wise happen. A big pick out coming from the Dulsels onto Dalim.
pushing up on point. Gamship with the coalescence out right now. Gets Diva out of mech.
And they're just gonna start dropping like
Ula
flies and unnecessarily using ults that they really shouldn't be or needing to be using. And Sarah is just not playing the game.
Wow, that was a very nice cap for them. I don't see
Yep.
why they're running Arista Diva. They swapped to the hamster with Diva. Weird pick on defense, but it could work.
Yep. And it
You
seems
see
that they're
the
gonna have to
hammer
rely
just
on the
trying to
tire.
chase Tire gets killed.
Nothing coming up from the Diva Bomb, and Dodostal's just using the whole hog and just pushing, trying to get this one tick
Big
that's
dab out of the
good
hamster.
at.
Reaper almost dead. Reaper's being picked up.
And that's a 2-1 so far, with Team Verdant taking their first win. And
I
so
actually
that's how it's going to go.
have to leave right now. I'm sorry, but stuff just happened.
Dang.
Good game.
Oh well, I guess I'll be able to solo carry this casting game. And there went the good friend. And everyone in chat, if you're watching, decide to give a nice clap in chat for Kojakx being a part of the Team Verdant versus CTA casting. So I guess I'm going to have to be solo talking to myself. Unless something happens or someone decides to join. But I guess I'll just decide to ping them around and see if anyone can possibly fill in for Kojakx at the moment. So hopefully we can figure something out and have someone happen. So I'm going to go ahead and ping the casters and see if anyone can possibly get in, like right now, at this emergency. So I think they do too. So I've pinged casters. Hopefully that's someone. Hello, Nekkra. How are you doing?
Hi.
Thank you for filling in on such short notice. It is Nekkra. Nekkra was able to fill in on such short notice, and I salute her for doing that.
Alright, I'll come back in. Hello. I hope we're not live, but if we are, hello everybody.
I believe I have Nekkra added, but
Possible? If you guys are live, hello everybody. I'm back. I'm sure you guys have heard enough of me, but
if
hello.
not, this is the tournament admins and decided to step in on such short notice because of Kojakx's departure.
Smart.
All
We'll
right.
figure.
One shot, one kill. Play of the game. never done. I've got you in my sights. Fool. Start your engines. One shot, one kill. The cavalry's here. Nerf this. Play of the game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this series between Team Verdant and Chinese Takeout Academy. Chinese Takeout Academy finally making their Owlet debut in the spotlight, and it is such a pleasure to be able to be here in cast. I was just doing one of the other matches tonight, but super excited to be here.
Welcome to Blizzard.
Thanks for popping in on such short notice, Nekkra. Just to reiterate for like the 4th or 5th time, because if you didn't decide to pop in on such short notice, I'd be here pretty much sweating a lot because I'm here casting, coloring, and doing play-by-play, all while voting.
I mean, there's a lot of great things to be able to talk about in Overwatch, and you can pull a love gangster. You can start talking to yourself in a bit of a different, put on an accent for when you're doing color, put on a different one for when you're doing play-by-play. Yeah, you can have some fun with it.
I don't have love gangster skill at doing that, especially when I'm already, having a mini panic attack every time Kojakx decided to.
Ready for battle.
And it seems that there's going to be almost an accidental mirror comp from both with the Docils, and the Docils running the McCree instead of the Genji, and it seems like we're going to be having a fun match because we've only seen goats twice, and each time they were swapped off, so feels good, man.
I think that I'm going to have to give the team with the McCree on it a little bit more of an edge over the Genji. Genji, a lot of his toolkit is being able to deflect, and you can't really deflect Reinhardt shield damage or your Zarya damage coming out from that big photon gun. And I swear that I had more words and better eloquent phrasing than this, but I'm so tired. But hello, we are back. We are going to be watching these teams kind of start making their way to the point right now.
And it seems that
yeah, go take it. Take it away.
Yeah, and it seems they're just going to be deciding to push them into it and just continue to just apply a lot of pressure and getting the Rhine left onto the ground, and Sari's just getting the constant recharges, and Pat's getting a good pick on a Jamsha, and deleting Dire with that dash reset, and it seems that Verdant's going to continue to push back while
while CTA just continues to pressure point and proceeds to start taking it, while it sees that TBH Tempest is going to continue to apply pressure, and it seems that it was just all futile while they just get the boop reset and the stagger onto Lucia.
Yeah, Chinese Takeout Academy is going to be taking an incredibly aggressive positioning here up with Team Verdant on the back foot. But you see that Dire Under is ready. He is going to have that Shatter coming up in a couple of seconds now if he's able to get some Fire Strikes going into the mix. But it is CTA now up in the Ultimate Economy right now. You have that Nano Boost coming out from 7, and that was going to be immensely huge, especially because that Ninja Blade is going to be coming online. But talk to me about that McCree ult. Do you think we're going to see that here?
The only thing I see this McCree ult doing is either getting sent back to the spawn room, as the joke implies, or it's going to be a possible nano boost with it. And it might even just be used for a reload cancel into them right-click spam.
Maybe, but there's going to be those dragons trying to disrupt the team, but that's going to be all of Team CTA getting caught into a Graviton Surge. A little bit of a late dragon there, but will end up picking up the kill onto Dire Under, which is going to spell disaster there for Team Verdant. High Noon somewhere, unfortunately, going to be a deflect taking out their own team member. So it is going to be Chinese Takeout Academy up in the rest of Team Verdant starts backing off to their spawn.
And that's just going to be a cap right onto the point. And they C9? When are they going to notice? Okay, they notice. That would have been extremely funny if they just decided to just not cap that and just keep on holding them in that spawn, which they could have done. But Dalim's just going to use that Dragon Blade and just decide to just send them back to the new spawn, while the Souls just kills Dalim and just sends them back to the new and better spawn while they continue to push cart and keep that really aggressive positioning. But Crimson swaps over to the Pharah while they have 3 outs, and they'll be possibly getting a 4th this fight, depending on how Gamsha manages to keep charge.
Oh yeah, and Gamsha's going to be really charging this fight because CTA is doing a lot here. There's going to be a hammer now, not really going to pick up anything, but that sound barrier going in in order to be able to keep all of Verdant alive, and that might be a defense coming alive right now. Dire Under going to go under here, but Kiwiwoo is not going to be able to get anything with that Shatter. Unfortunately, going to have to take a step back after being beautifully bio-grenaded by Verdant, but still, this is going to be CTA's push to the finish here.
The Dragon's just pushing him, keeping him pressure and spawn, and only letting the Reinhardt be able to come out, which they can do. Way. And they're just going to continue to applying so much pressure. Jamsha getting a nice good pick on the Kiwiwoo, and Dodosel's killing Ethan. Poor Ethan, man. And
yeah,
it seems like
Ethan.
It seems that Dodosel's going to pop off, delete, and Gamsha killing 7, and they're going to have their own aggressive pushing up against CTA. And Verdant's just gonna slightly back up and keep that slight choke pressure, but they can't be playing too close to that environmentals that you don't really see on Blizzard World, but it's still a possibility.
Absolutely a possibility, but you know that Verdant's looking to take advantage of the possibility there. Crimson up on that high ground, definitely getting in position to be able to land a massive Pharah barrage, but CTA is absolutely aware of this, going to try to stay behind that Reinhardt shield as much as possible, but gonna get caught in a grab instead. There goes the barrage. It's going to do so much damage over the sound barrier that ended up getting popped out, and this is going to be another one team fight here for Verdant.
And there goes Gamsha just getting another 30% of that nice big grab, and Crimson just nice barrage coming out from Crimson, especially with that nice I've been saying nice a lot this set, and it seems that Crimson's gonna swap back over to that, that they're gonna have deflectable ults coming up, especially with Dalim's and Pat's ult just going to either be the biggest of uses, or it's going to be the biggest flop of the century. And
have you ever seen a Dragon Strike get reflected? Because I've definitely seen grabs get reflected. Small Squid not up on the grab yet, but it is going to be a massive shatter down. Dragon's going up to the left there, and a McCree ult finding its mark onto 7. That's going to be 5 now going out for Verdant, but still there's going to be kills traded left and right here. CTA going to have to back off just a little bit because they really are down in numbers. Respawns coming out from Verdant here, so CTA choosing to fight back but not before trying to get bullied off of the point by Verdant and potentially getting staggered like we're going to see there by Kiwiu.
Yeah, especially. And I matter of fact, have seen the Dragon Strike get deflected. It happened to me in my last playing with PV against Expandable Odyssey.
Oh man, you hate to see those kinds of things, don't you?
It did. It kind of hurt a lot, especially when the next game they decided to deflect a Grav, but that's a different story.
A different story, but not this game. Now, talk to me about the ult economy coming in from Verdant. Do you think they still have this defense?
With Verdant, they should really only be using one ult at most, and depending on if to use Sound Barrier, which the only ult they should be using is Grav, which they used right there, and they shouldn't really have used Nano because they would have won the fight nonetheless.
It's okay, I think, to utilize the Nano here, but because that's going to be the ghosting for Dire Under to be able to put some pressure onto CTA and bully them back into their spawn. He might have lost his life for it. I think you're right about the fact that they did have that team fight won, but you now see that Dire Under is going to be back to another Earth Shatter, and that's what you want to see here. You want to be able to see those ultimates coming online to be able to set the pace of that fight.
Well, from what I've learned is that you should only, if you have Grav available, you should only try and use Grav. But it seems that Dire Under's pushed way too far, and there's going to be the Resident Sleeper combo that everyone knows and hates, and Gamsha just deciding to trying to stay alive. Gamsha is, and Yamcha just trying to keep Gamsha's up for as long as they possibly can, and Crimson going to have a blade if they can just stall for a little longer. But it seems that they're
Just a little bit longer. Oh yeah, that card's going to get really close to point, and that is going to be an Earth Shatter, a solo ult onto the Blading Genji to try to be able to take that damage out of this fight. But it's just going to be stalls upon stalls coming out here for Team Verdant, because this is their last-ditch effort to be able to try to stall this point. It's going to be 20 seconds left of the clock, and this is it. This is going to decide whether or not CTA ends up getting the full cap here. But huge grab, absolutely. Rally trying to come out on top to be able to keep everybody alive. But that is going to be Small Squid supercharged at the moment, trying to melt people off of this point. Verdant giving it everything they've got though. Jamsha coming out with the Moira trying to keep everybody alive here, but it is just brawls upon brawls. No one really getting the upper hand in this fight right now, but CTA giving it everything they absolutely got here. Unfortunate melee coming onto Kiwiu, so that damage is not going to be able to be mitigated by that shield. That means that Dire Under is at liberty to swing away. It is exactly what he is going to do right now. Dragon's going in as a last-ditch effort to be able to get everybody off that cart, but that is going to be a C9.
Big. Not exactly a C9. They just walked off cart. It's not a C9. If anything, it's what the majority of the XQC followers that I know are in chat, don't you dare try and hide from me. I know you're there. That's what you call a Z9. A Z9 is when you basically just walk off the point and you just walk off.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragon Strike was really thrown onto point as a zoning ult. So that was the entire goal of Verdant, right? They really wanted to be able to get everybody to walk off so that CTA couldn't touch and actually cap that point. So now, as the sides are flipped, there is a potential for Verdant to come in and actually win this. There's a win condition on board, and that's exactly what they wanted for that last fight.
Yep, they managed to push it far enough to the point of, they managed to stall it long enough to be able to, I forget who was on a
It was CTA on attack.
Okay, with CTA, they managed to push it far enough, but not far enough, if you know what I'm saying, because they managed to push it all the way up to the final point where they just couldn't clutch it out. And now that the Docils and all of other Verdants, and including Crimson and Yamcha, they're gonna have to fight against this Goats comp that we all know and hate, and sometimes love them, especially if you're Penton Viserion.
True. Yeah, that is very true.
It's still funny when the majority of the casters like to call Penton Viserion Goats one tricks, but they're not entirely wrong, considering that the in-game leader, as known as I, likes to claim that my brain is 50% goats. So
I mean, it's a comfort pick for a lot of teams. It's just something that teams are very comfortable in running, so you do see them kind of sticking to that even with the new patch changes. But we will be seeing 3-3 compositions coming out from both sides except for Verdant, which is going to be coming out with the Super McCree composition, but CTA coming in pretty strong here.
Yep, they're going to be trying to play this brawly comp with Crimson getting slept, and that's a slept tracer is a no useful tracer, and Gamsha and Yamcha just keeping their team just protected and nice, and they're just going to get this nice 3 cap while they get the majority of the team to push up and keep that pressure going so that Kiwi Wu and all of them can't decide to put more pressure and just not let them cap. But it seems that they're going to be continuing with this go comp and just playing around the corner pressure that that CTA's established so much in this entire set. And hopefully that they can continue to use this nice corner pressure that they've been utilizing, especially with their goats comp, which has been pretty effective, but they still have been swapping off the goats comp. Crimson getting a nice DMAC onto Small Squid, and Pat's getting a huge pick onto Crimson, and Dodoso's picking out Ethan.
Yeah, that was a really nice high noon coming on from Pylon Terrace of Blizzard World, but Kiwi with a very nice charge. A good Earth Shatter now, taking down 2 out of the fight. Pat coming in from behind to be able to clean up the kill onto Jamsha. So now it's still though heavily in the favor of Verdant. CTA has only 2 left, kind of getting some kills traded left and right for both of these teams, but it's gonna be Verdant pulling it out here because Kamsha is so charged and is just deleting people. CTA though coming back pretty strong here, just trying to look to regroup to be able to touch this one last time.
Yep, and it seems that CTA is going to get the next recontest, but Crimson getting the vital pick onto Ethan. And without Ethan in the fight, they have no speed, and it's one less source of healing with their now single healer comp with Ana. And Ana getting nice, good stun and a good nano. And it seems that CTA is going to have another recontest, maybe, but it seems that I lied and that they're going to have to continue to back off and get staggered possibly.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a stagger, especially because Small Squid's going to get demeched in the back. So now what CTA needs to do is back off and try their best to be able to kind of figure out a game plan here. But they have ultimates online for both of these teams. A little bit more in the favor of Verdant because they do have those high value ultimates like the Zarya Graviton, and you're able to allow Dire Under to kind of swing into it and get that Earth Shatter up and running for this next team fight.
It seems that we didn't notice that Dodosals just decided to pop off and get a 3K body shot. There possibly could have been some headshots in there, I don't know, I wasn't spectating. And they're just gonna rally into this and push as far as they can.
Yeah,
7
absolutely
really low.
will. Yeah, they are super low and they are going to go down. Crimson absolutely finding their target on that one. But another high noon coming out. Really want to try to turn the clock back on this one. But a huge pulse bomb going to be able to take out the big, strong front line here for CTA, which means that Verdant is going to be able to snowball a lot of this pressure now into the point. Dire Under going deep into the back line. CTA really trying to fight at their spawn. This is not where they want to be taking this fight right now. They want to be moving out to the cart. This cart is quickly approaching that mark, but not before that Graviton keeps them all off of the cart. Hammering down to be able to fight back. A massive purple, huge stall, and that is going to be CTA able to take this defense with, I can't even believe it, 0.09 meters left. I think they're coming in fast, so I think Verdant wants this one.
Verdant's trying to push in, and it's a big slam with the nano, and that should be the end of the cap, and we're going into a game 5.
Wow, a victory for Team Verdant. This is going to tie up the series. This is going to be a lot of map 5s tonight already. How exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting, especially when you realize that you get to have fun commentating 5 games about a new team going into their first game 5, which looked at the beginning to be just the start of a nice, good, clean wipe. But guess we're gonna have to see what happens next.
Yeah, we will have to see what happens next in that final 5th and final map that decides it all will be Oasis. So this is another control map. Unfortunately, I'm coming in a little bit late to the party. So it's my understanding that Chinese Takeout Academy ended up winning the first control map of the night, correct?
Yep. CTA won the first 2, and Verdant's won everything since.
Gotcha. Well, hey, that may mean that CTA is going to be able to come back from this one. But who knows? We're going to take a really short break here, and we'll be back with all of that action after a few minutes.
Yep, we'll see you all in about 3 minutes.
One shot, one kill.
never done.
I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Start your engine!
One shot, one kill.
The cavalry Nerf this! Play of the game. Heroes never die.
Hey guys, welcome back. We will be back to streaming this wonderful game and going into the final map of Oasis with Chinese Takeout Academy versus Team Verdant, going into the game 5 with CTA taking the first 2 maps and Verdant taking the most recent 2 maps. You're going in to be Oasis. It'll be the final one.
Yeah, but what's really exciting, I think chat's super excited about this, is we're either going to see CTA make a big comeback here, or we're going to see Team Verdant take the reverse sweep. So that's super exciting. I think that this is what I love about Overwatch, is being able to see these close series going back and forth. And I think it's too close to call, but if I'm going to put it on history, I will give it to Chinese Takeout Academy solely because they were able to win Nepal. But with that being said, you know these maps are different, so why don't you talk to me a little bit about what we might see on Oasis?
On Oasis is one of my favorite maps, not gonna lie. Depending on what the first one is, where it's either going to be a bunker comp for either a bunker comp from either team, depending if it's the university one, and if it's not university, then I either expect to see a goats comp or what we've been seeing, Ryan Zarya and Genji McCree.
Yeah, very true. There are a lot of possibilities here on this map for sure. And so you named some of those, maybe seeing a bonker composition, but we are going to be moving to university, and you don't really usually see a bunker comp here. I think you usually see something more with a Rhine variant of a team composition.
Yep. Especially with this part right here. I mean, a bunker comp on university isn't the most bad thing in the world, considering that it has a Ilios type layout with that boop into that middle, and especially with that boop into the middle being so good that an Orisa pull is what I've practiced in the past, is if you can pull the Orisa, none of the Orisa, if you can pull the majority of the comp into that little well area, you now can fight them from an even smaller choke point that's like pre-patch Anubis. If
That's
anyone.
true. The other thing about that too is if you are going to run the Orisa and pull people into that tiny little hole that has the mega pack in it in the middle of the floor, well, you also take a couple people that are out of the fight, and they have to take a long way away to be able to get back and get into it. But talk to me about these team compositions that we're seeing from both of these teams.
Well, I'm not surprised to see Crimson Pharah, especially with how like tall and open this is, and the Pharah won't be a bad idea, and especially with Pats and Dalim not running a hit scan, so it's going to be even harder to get rid of this Pharah.
Yeah, that Pharah is going to start finding its mark onto the enemy team right now. Verdant, oh, unfortunately going to get taken out of the skies early, though. TBH Tempest coming back, though, bringing that back online, but not before CTA is able to get really aggressive into the front line of Verdant. So that's going to be some trades coming back and forth, but now that that main tank is done and out of the fight, Gamsha is alone on the front lines here, going to get a little bit of revenge by taking them out, but it's just trades back and forth. CTA finally going to be able to capture that point, and it is going to be a CTA takeover. Verdant coming in very strong here. Ooh, that's a lot of Tracer in that kill feed, isn't it?
Yeah, but considering that CTA still got the first cap, it's still getting that extra cap time, so that it just means that they have more of a chance to be able to cap it back and just be able to steamroll through it. And considering that they have swapped Pats already back over to that McCree, so that Crimson just doesn't have complete free reign over the skies like they have been. It'll just be a sight to see if Pats will be able to pop it off and kill that Pharah, or if the rest of the team's just going to be able to wipe out and the Pharah just doesn't matter, but they're both going to pick each other up. And Dodosals and Yamcha just killing the majority of the team, and they're going to have to just slowly back this up because they don't have any other teammates left to be able to support them, and that's just going to be a support role.
Yeah, that is going to be a support role. Jamsha coming in clutch with that coalescence to be able to top off the rest of the members of Verdant after being able to take the point. So now CTA needs to be able to set the pace of this next fight. You have the Reinhardt Earthshatter. You do have the Nano Boost to be able to get some value here. Dalim, unfortunately, going to be switching over to that Genji a little bit too late there, so not going to be able to pair that lot of damage coming in here from Verdant onto CTA right now.
Yep. And that's going to be an empty grab coming out from the side of Verdant. It's a small grab, and it got no one in it, so they don't get any extra value. And so the barrage combo doesn't work, and that's a 3k anti. And there's the barrage coming out from Crimson, getting a 3k onto Pats, Smoke Squid, and Ethan. And that's just going to be... And they've starting to use ults that they really shouldn't be, and that's just going to be Kiwoo and just not doing anything. And TBH Tempest getting a 2k as Mercy.
Yeah, that's going to be great Battle Mercy, but we are approaching the last fight territory here for this team fight, so it's going to be Verdant and CTA battling it out. That Transcend getting popped in order to be able to try to touch the point, so that is going to proc the overtime wick if it is going to go off, but that is a massive Earth Shatter going to get cleaned up with the Coalescence right on top of it. A last-ditch effort Genji ultimate right on top, and there's just really no way for CTA to come back from that. It's going to be Verdant taking this very first map in the series 1-up.
Now this will be the comeback story of CTA, or is this going to be the reverse sweep of Verdant? Because Verdant's just has kept their mental stature. That's the word I'm looking for. Been able to keep their mental stature against this Pharah and against all of this comp that they've been running, and it seems that they're going to be running a very fast taking comp to point with that Lucio Moira. The only thing left that they have left to make this a fast swap comp is if they swap Pat of Verdant, of CTA over to something like a Tracer or a Widowmaker.
Yeah, I mean the Tracer or the Widowmaker pick can definitely be good ones, but I do like seeing Verdant staying on the Pharah. I think that Crimson ended up doing a lot of work raining from above, and the CTA is expecting this, so they are going to be going with a little bit more of a classic dive composition there in the front. But look at the brawl that they're going to be taking up on the high ground of Oasis. There's a lot of damage being rained down, and they're just kind of trading right now. They're trading some damage, trying to get some ultimates online, waiting to see if anybody is going to fall, but there needs to be some sort of target focus from either team. But it looks like it's going to be Crimson and Tempest taking out the very first blood of this fight. It's going to heavily swing the team fight in favor of Verdant right now, and CTA is just kind of trickling on the high ground, trying to be able to get some sort of, trying to take back some sort of revenge, right?
Yeah, and it just seems that that CTA has just given up their hope, and it sees that none of them have just been deciding what to do with that Pharah, and it doesn't seem that they're even calling out any of the support that's supporting the rest of the team. Gamsha, and the end of the majority of their ground part of the team instead of Crimson getting that pocket.
Yeah, and you're going to actually see a lot of DPS Moira coming out here with that Coalescence coming online. Gotta be very, very careful, though, because CTA is looking to take advantage of that, but everybody on the team is super. So Verdant is going to have to take some time here to be able to capitalize on that, but look at how disjunct this push seems to be from CTA. Verdant is absolutely capitalizing on the fact that these pushes are just not conjunct.
They're gonna have to walk into their spawn, which is pretty sad considering of how much of corner pressure that CTA has been able to put on. But now that CTA has just been spawn camped, and Crimson just is going to be screwed over unless that High Noon just destroys everyone. And it seems that they're gonna dive onto high ground and try and get the McCree off of it.
Yeah, gonna have to get that McCree off of high ground because that's where McCree reigns from above. But that's gonna be a huge pick, getting a lot of healing out of the way on the side of Verdant. So that means that CTA might really be able to take advantage of that now. There isn't a whole lot to be able to stabilize this defense for this point right now. Bomb not gonna pick up anything, but the McCree is fighting back. Bob maybe going to be able to do something. Sunberry coming out to be able to protect that Bob, and then Nano on top of it means that this is going to be a super Bob, folks. Unfortunately,
Super
not getting
Bob.
anything. Yeah, super Bob. CTA and Verdant still brawling it out on point, but Gamsha is going to throw that grab in and be able to pick up a kill from it, and just for the cherry on top, it will be Crimson throwing out that barrage to be able to demech the D.Va and try to keep everybody off of point with that Overwick timer timing down, and that will be this map for
And
Verdant.
that's what you call a full-blown reverse 3-up. And it's a good
Yeah, it
job
is.
over to Verdant for being able to keep their mental stature even after those first 2 games. And it's just been a good, nice, fun game. And now that they've been able to pull this out, they've established themselves as a top 2 team pretty much. And CTA being able to bring one of the top 3 onto its best of 5. That just shows how good that CTA is in this majors format.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, welcome again to Chinese Takeout Academy, to the Owlet scene. You guys put up an incredible heck of a fight. I think just Verdant was prepared for what was going to be happening, and you know, you'll come into your own as things continue in Owlet. But congratulations again to Verdant. Thank you guys so much for watching. What a great series.
What a great series. Thank you, Nekkra, and thank you, Kojakx, for deciding to cast with me. And I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, too.
Yeah, good night, everybody.